Hello, our showroom is very full at the moment and we have 4 or 5 pianos due to come in. So for a limited period only, you can rent at half the normal rental price most of our pianos. So please inquire info@robertspianos.com if you have a query about one of them. This first part of the video will be taken off as soon as stock levels are down to normal. Hello, this is a brief look at all the pianos that we have in stock. This is a Steinway Model B 1910, fully restored, and Model B is about 6 foot 11 inches long. The piano's just been restored and it's on the showroom floor now, so there's just some minor details to look at. If you look under the keys there, you can see the number that represents the weighting, so the key weight, which should be 50 grams on middle C, that's note 40, it's 49, so I think plus or minus 1 or 2 is acceptable, and you can see that the weight's pretty even throughout. It has a delightful touch, so really grateful for this piano, and just a fine regulation to do, voicing, so obviously we never stop trying to improve the pianos. Piano's been restored in every detail. As if you've seen other videos of ours, you'll see the kind of things we always do. It has a Baldock rest plank, which is the best one for Steinways really, and just well, as good as we can possibly do it really, and trying to refine it as much as possible, especially the touch and the tone. It has an exquisite touch and a very singing tone in the middle here, and a good strong powerful treble. A rich tenor area, and a powerful bass, beautiful deep bass. That was a stock piano. This is a rental Steinway, and it's been rented out a couple of times already. It's practically pristine, but it's just the odd sort of scratch on the music stand where music's been put there, but the rest of the case is good. If you did rent this, obviously we want it to be kept as perfect as possible, but let's have a quick listen to the tone. It's a little bit different, 1927. This has ivory keys, the other one had replacement keys. Again, that's very warm tone. This is a Schimmel baby grand, made in 1988, and it's 151 centimeters long, so about 5 foot long, and it also has a player mechanism on it. It's in pristine condition, hardly used, and I'll just let it demonstrate itself. This is a Bluthner Style 4. I think we have another video of this piano, but this video I just want to go through all the stock to encourage you to try pianos out if you can't come and visit us, but also that the price is down at the bottom of what it would normally be because of the lockdown that's put prices right down, so it's a good time to buy or to try the pianos out. It's very mellow and renowned for being excellent small grand pianos. This one was made in 1935 and fully restored by Bluthners in the 1970s, and it's practically perfect. I think I did find just slightly the paint on the frame is slightly going there, but that's about the only blemish on the whole piano. It's really in excellent condition. The casework is beautiful, but we have another video of this, so if you can refer to that. And this is a Bluthner Style 8, which is one of our preferred models too. It's a patent Bluthner action. There isn't a video of this yet, but plenty of videos of patent Bluthner actions if you want to see what that is. It's a much mellower sound than the 30s one. And having longer strings has a richer bass too. It is 6 foot 3 inches long, with the other one was 5 foot long. This is a Bösendorfer 170 gram piano in oak, which is very unusual for any piano, and certainly I don't think I've seen another Bösendorfer in oak before, and it has a matching oak piano stool, which is very useful too. The piano's made in 1928, has a perfect set of ivory keys here. It's been very well restored, I think possibly by Bösendorfer themselves, and we've fine regulated it as well. It just oozes quality, really. And this is a Beckstein Model 5, that's a old Roman V, and made in 1899, which is a common year for them, and certainly a piano we're always trying to source. There's a relatively good large number of them in the UK, which is encouraging. Now this is previously restored by somebody very, very well. Again, we've done quite a lot of fine regulation. Very, very rich bass. This is a 163cm Ibach grand piano. Again, it's one that we're really grateful when we managed to source one of these. And I've made a video of this already, so just briefly let's have a quick listen. They're very, very respected small grand piano makers. This is a Richard Lipp grand piano made in 1908. And Richard Lipp I've had in my house most of my piano tuning life, really. I've had one grand and then sold it and then bought another Richard Lipp and have another one in my house at the moment, actually. Now we've redone the whole of the acoustic side. In other words, the soundboard has been reconditioned, there's new strings and new tuning pins and so on. So and redone the frame. So all of that's been done. The mechanics were very good already, so we haven't had to redo all of those. So we've refined them, obviously, and made them as good as we possibly can. That's a very rich sound. This is a Gebruder Knacke Baby Grand. It's a make that we haven't had before, but extremely fastidiously made and very unusual. I'm just going to show you the frame inside, and apart from the lid folding up like that instead of the normal way, and look at the frame on the inside, and just very, very well made. Knacke do make some interesting casework on their pianos. If you look on the internet you'll find some other wood coloured ones that are very interesting as well. So the size of the piano, and this is very small, I think it's less than 5 foot. I think it's about 4'3" actually, so extremely short piano with a very good bass for a short piano. It's a Steingraeber made in 1905. I did a before the work video, and a lot of people asked me to the after, and I'm really sorry that just run out of time, but this one briefly is after we finished it off. So it was incredibly below pitch. It was about a semitone, I think. A very, very warm sound. This had the special feature of having overdampers as well as underdampers in the bass, just to cut it off better, because it's such a resonant piano. Becksteins have fly dampers. This is a Beckstein Model 8 1903. A very interesting casework, very unusual for there's usually rosewood this age of Bechstein. Model 8 is one of the ones we're really keen to source. This has just come into stock, and you might be interested to hear the pitch of this, and if you're a tuner you might discern what pitch that is, or if you have perfect pitch. My colleague Clive straight away got it. If you listen to that's an A, and that's an A on the Steingraeber. That is at concert pitch, so that's A440, probably 441 actually. And the Bechstein, so it's a semitone flat roughly. Now that would indicate that it's hardly been tuned, at least recently anyway, and has been allowed to just fall and fall in pitch. So unless the tuner was lazy and didn't bother to keep it at pitch. And these are the fly dampers I was talking about that Becksteins have to cut the bass sound off. So listen to the bass. Well, that's already beautiful sounding, and raised up another semitone will be even more delicious. Descending roughly in order of price, this is a Kaps, and I'm sorry, you have to see the photos on the website because it's a very, very attractive piano. Now there's the top of it, and obviously we're working on it. So descending roughly in order of price, this is a Feurich 133, Feurich's best upright piano, apart from their 123, which is a different sort of piano. Sorry, I won't go into details on that because we don't have one, but that's made in Vienna, and these are made in China, but they're overseen very well by the Austrian firm. Now it's a very tall piano, so listen to the bass here. If we compare that with this Yamaha U3H and the Feurich. Next down in price with the Feurich 122s and just superbly designed pianos. We have two very similar pianos in stock, and again there'll be links under this video if you want to see them individually, but let's have a quick listen. And the other one. This is a Yamaha U3G made in 1972, one of our preferred pianos. We try and get U3Gs. I don't know why, but somehow they just seem to have hit some sweet spot. Really like them. U3H, the same age, is also extremely good. Really at Yamaha at their best tone-wise. I want to focus in on this though, because all of the Yamahas these four of these we've just got in recently, and looked at the weight, and that's middle C, 60. It should be 50. So that's far too high, and so we're going to have to reweight this. So that's showing, you can see the F sharps and the Cs, the F sharps, and they're extremely high. We had to raise the pitch on this one, and so reweighting the keys. You want it 52 in the bass, 50 in the middle, there's 48 in the top, as we've mentioned many times before. Now if we compare that to the Feurich, then we've got weights here. We've got 51 grams, 52 grams, 49. Really very plus or minus 2 grams of 50 grams, which is just ideal. Let's listen to the U3. We've got several of these. I'll play one after the other. That's very, very round sound, and as I say, this age of U3 is one of my favourites. Another 1972 U3G. Again, equally warm. It's U3H, slightly brighter. So coming down in price a bit more, this is a Marshall & Rose. Part exchange actually, the client bought a Steinway Upright that was fully restored, but she liked this one very much, and was during lockdown and wanted us to keep this for a while in case she preferred it to her Steinway, but she has kept the Steinway. It was a very light touch, this one, so we've had to just even it out a bit. And now that's extremely warm sound for a bass, and of course it's a very respected make. Marshall & Rose were taken over by Wellmer, I believe, in about 1950s, and they're an equally good firm. Now coming down in size and price, one of our preferred makes a small piano, and we do both sell and rent a lot of these. This one's just come back in from rental actually, and my colleague's going to tidy up the casework. There's just a few blemishes, but again we're going to tidy up the touch. We've taken a record of that. So we didn't even off the touch on this when we rented it out. Obviously extremely busy, and perhaps we should have done, but there's so much work for us to do, and you can see 50 grams and middle C there, 50, but they go up to 60 grams at places. So it's not a disaster, but 60 grams, that should be 52 grams on there. That's the F sharp below note 28 here. So that one is 60, and it should be more like 52. For a piano of this height, that's an excellent bass. Coming to our final showroom area, these are small upright pianos, although this Welmar is actually 120, so it's the tallest of the Welmars and the same height as a Yamaha U1. You can tell what age this Welmar is because it says 78311. That's 1978. I wish all manufacturers did that. Actually, Welmar abandoned that later on. We like the ones that are numbered with the year. That's more or less tells us it's going to be a very high quality piano. And again, along with Knight, one of our preferred makes of a small piano. It's a very rich sound. This is a taller one. This is a 1977 Welmar, shorter, and let's hear the difference of tone. So it's a smaller sound, obviously. It's not going to be such a big sound as the other piano, but it's a very, very acceptable sound and very, very good touch. And one more Welmar here. Again, they're all extremely good pianos, obviously cosmetically different. And one more Welmar here, made in 1952. That's quite early for a Welmar for us to sell them, but actually the early ones have a very warm sound indeed. We have another Campbell here, which is 1984, and just high quality pianos Campbell are of that particular age, and especially these tall, slightly taller than the very small one. They're a brighter sound than the Welmars and Knights. Campbell made Yamaha as well in this period of time, so till they closed down really. They're nice and bright at the top. So there's a lot of cross-pollination between them and Yamaha at that time. This is a Campbell that's just come in. I'm not quite sure what age it is. It's a very pretty case, actually, a very light coloured case. Haven't assessed the whole piano, so let's have a listen. But this is a Campbell Compact. It has 85 keys, a really small piano, which is our preferred model of small piano, really. So again, for an extremely small piano, that is a very good bass. It's mellower than the other one at the top end. So we're always choosing pianos that are not very worn, and this one you can hardly see any string marks on the hammers at all. And I notice it's got a Celeste bar, which is unusual for a Campbell Compact, 133 centimetres long, so we're very pleased to get this piano in. Very useful practice if you have got the piano in the same room as people who are chatting and so on, and you want to play scales. And last of all, we have two Zender upright pianos. This one's made in, I'm not sure, about 1980 I would say, and this one here is older, I think, it's 1982, so perhaps the other one is actually younger than this one. Let's have a listen to them both. Now they are much less expensive. We don't do many Zenders, just the ones that we know are going to be stable. There are actually, apparently Sidney Zender said he made about 70,000 pianos, so there's lots of them in the UK, and they're made specifically for being extremely small. This one is very similar length to the Campbell, 85 keys, and this one as well. Let's see if we've got a length on this one. So this one says 132, so it's actually 1 centimetre less than that way than the Campbell, but they're both very reliable pianos. That's a very warm bass for that size of piano too. I nearly forgot this Young Chang. This is a part exchange piano, but Young Chang is a well-known make of piano, so that's not really a problem for us. It's going to be a good instrument. the touch is actually extremely good. The tone is quite reasonable and bright. It's not a make that was trying to source all the time, but these taller young changs, they're quite reasonable pianos. So this decoration here is not normal for the UK, so I'm not sure if that came from abroad originally. Sorry, what I meant there is that it was sold originally not in the UK. Let's have a look at the hammerware on the piano. So not too much hammerware either, so that's encouraging. It has a celestial too. This is a Knight K10 Upright. We usually have 3 or 4 Knight K10s in stock, and we really appreciate them. They're very extremely well made pianos. This is a very mellow sounding one. This is a Campbell made in 1977. This is one of the top range Campbells, and a piano that we're always trying to source as well. Excellent small pianos. Has a brighter tone, but very, very good touch. This is a Yamaha U1F made in 1970. Again, we're always trying to source Yamahas. This is practically pristine on the outside. It's a bigger piano, so it's obviously a fuller tone. There's a Yamaha U3H, also dated 1970. This has just come into stock actually, so just want to show you what we do, and we want to improve the piano as much as we can. So this has already been reconditioned, sent to us via the trade, but we've weighted off the keys to see what sort of weights they are. And if you look at middle C, note 40 is 54 grams. Really should be 50 grams, and the F sharp above that 60 grams, which is too high. 57 is the next C, and so on. Generally needs to be evened off, so we need to go. We want the bass to be 52, the middle to be about 50, and the top treble to be 48. Plus or minus, say, 2 grams of each of those weights would be ideal. So it's a little bit uneven and needs evening out. So that's a brief look at all our current stock, and because of the lockdown, prices are quite a lot lower than they would tend to normally be. So although we are selling actually the same number of pianos as usual, but the other reason for them being low is because we've got pianos coming in. So we always need to obviously buy and sell. We need to keep up a certain number of pianos each month. And there are some videos of these pianos, individual videos already. I think the Bösendorfer has one, but you check under in the stock list. I put links to the stock list underneath the video and links to each piano as well. So I hope that's been helpful. Please feel free to even do a video call with us in front of the piano if you want to find out more about it. Delightful pianos, Bösendorfer 170s, and we've regulated the touch, just refined it as much as we possibly can. So I could play this piano all day long. One of my favourites. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that's been helpful.